Welcome to Debbie's Grill, where we talk about issues that matter to the state, void of politics, fear of favor. President John Mahama has vowed to crack down on individuals implicated in financial irregularities captured in the Auditor General's report, cautioning that those found culpable will be compelled to refund misappropriated funds or face imprisonment. Speaking at a diaspora town hall meeting in the United Kingdom, the president expressed concern over the persistent financial losses recorded in successive Auditor General's report, describing them as a major drain on the country's resources. He noted that the recurring findings point to long-standing weakness in public financial management and accountability. According to him, the establishment of specialized audit courts represent a significant step towards ensuring that audit infractions attract real consequences beyond parliamentary scrutiny. He explained that individuals cited in audit report will no longer only appear before the Public Accounts Committee, but will also face legal actions aimed at recovering lost funds and holding offenders accountable. President Mahama stressed that the Attorney General and the Auditor General will work together to prosecute cases arising from audit findings and pursue the recovery of public funds. His remarks come amid renewed public attention on financial accountability following recent sittings of Parliament's Public Accounts Committee, where several cases of irregular expenditure and financial mismanagement were scrutinized. Among them was a directive ordering officials of the whole municipal assembly to refund 138,000 within 60 days over audit-related infractions. So this is a directive from President Mahama to audit offenders to refund stolen funds, or in Nsawam is their safe home where they will be kept to rest. Now the president is saying that this is the main reason why they are bringing up a special court, and this special court will be specifically designed for people who embezzle state funds, people divert state funds for their personal work instead of the funds being projected into developmental project. And so if you are being caught, this special court will deal with you. They will work on your case, and if you are found guilty, you will be arrested. And this is going to be the work of the Attorney General and the Auditor General. And they're bringing this on board because we've seen instances where cases go to court and then it's prolonged. Okay, so it looks as if our major courts we have as it stands now deals with a lot of cases, criminal cases, corruption cases, calamity, and a whole lot. And so it looks as if the files are being packed up, and they'll have to deal with one after the other. So why not creating a special court where this court is going to deal with audit offenders? So if you've been given the mandate to handle a state office and you end up embezzling state funds, you will be sent to that special court, and then that court will have to deal with you, work on your case, and if you are being found guilty, the laws will have to deal with you. It's not bad, okay? It's not bad, but for me, as it stands now, the iota of trust I have in our system is not quite solid. Because, well, I think someone will say we should give the benefits of the doubt and then allow them come up with this whole thing called the special court for this audit offenders so that we see how far it goes. That is fine. But for me, I feel like our system, will the system allow us to do the right thing? Are we sure we can prosecute people, especially when it has to do with politicians? Can we prosecute them? Because I've not seen any instance where a politician has been prosecuted before. A politician has been jailed for maybe life imprisonment or something. It has never happened before. The only thing we get to hear of is, oh, this money has been embezzled, this person is being chased by the court, and at the end of it, we don't even get to know how it ends. And then when it happens like that, you are gradually degrading the trust we have in our court or in our judiciary. And you see, that is why a lot of people would prefer going to visit Nananum. If I say Nananum, you understand. They go to visit them, Nananum. They prefer that than the court. And you see, I wouldn't say we don't have the laws. We have the laws, but we are not enforcing it. And it feels like the laws deals with only some group of people, and the laws doesn't deal with some group of people. And so it feels like there is this kind of bias sort of a thing. Now, tell me why an office will be entrusted into your hands. You are given a position, and then you end up doing whatever you want to do. And I keep saying this, if you don't have the heart, and if you know you are someone who have high blood pressure, you don't watch this public account proceedings, you will end up collapsing. Because if you hear what is going on, the money that we are losing, or the money we've lost as a state through one or two mistakes done by some state institutions and some of these irregularities, like it's hard to break it down. Like, you sit down and then you try imagining, like, how did we get here? That's the question that kept coming in my mind. How did we get here as a country? Day in, day out, we see things popping out from other countries. And I can boldly tell you that some African countries are doing their best to hold their people accountable. We are equally not different from these people. We can do same. You see, our problem is that we don't hold these people accountable. We don't punish them. We don't give them they don't face harsher and stricter punishments. They don't. Because if they do, imagine me sitting back. Okay, so I've been given an opportunity to hold an office. And then whoever I'm coming after, maybe one way or the other, the person embezzles state funds or something, and then looking at the torture the person is going through, it has already communicated something to me. And so me occupying that position, I have it at the back of my mind that if I should joke or if I should do something that is not in accordance with what I'm supposed to do, then the law will take me on. But because we don't do that, when they're being given the go ahead to handle a state office, it is with pride, it is with happiness, it is with this kind of mindset that I'm going to make money and all that. Because come to think of it, you meet an ordinary person who has nothing, basically let's say nothing, or maybe a house and a car. And then by the time this person is done occupying a space that was being given to him or her by the government, the person has about 20 or 30 properties. And these properties we are talking about, maybe 3 in Accra. So we have 16 regions. And that this appointee has about 20 properties or 5 or 3 properties in all these regions. They should give you like a clue that this person is up to something. Where did you get that money from? There should be questioning. Where did you get that money from? How did you make such a huge amount of money? How were you? I'm not saying you didn't save. I'm not saying that you were not having your money before you end up occupying that kind of position. But you see, because of all this act and behaviors, people have it in mind that when they're being given an opportunity to handle something, they go in with that kind of mindset that they want to also amass wealth from this for themselves and for their family, because they see that as a safe haven. They see that as a conducive environment where they can loot. So I feel in a way this is kind of this is something that is kind of like makes sense to me. Because if you are bringing up a special court, then it means that when the money is being retrieved, we retrieve the money, and then you also need to face some kind of penalties. That is, if you are being found culpable. I've seen instances where I've heard some tall people speaking, and then they are like, oh, we should just be interested in retrieving the money and allow the people to go scot-free. And I was like, no, we should retrieve the money and allow them to go like that. No, we take the money and then you have to face the law. So after the money is being retrieved, if it is 3 months, what could child 3 months? If it is 4 months, what could child 4 months now? And that, even if it is 4 months, it should be 4 months with hard labor. If it is 3 months, it should be 3 months with hard labor. And when you listen to institutions, schools, I mean, it's something else. It's something else. And as I said, it's because we have the laws, we are not enforcing it. And so everyone sees it as an opportunity to do whatever they want to do. And you see, it pains me because every year, or when there is a change of government, this public accounts committee things still go on. And then we still have people who are still looting. So it's like, the more we are trying our possible best to fight this canker, the more someone is also making up their mind, wearing their Wellington boots and coats in hot weather to steal. So I think the question we should ask ourselves is, how are we going to uproot this from its core roots than just cutting off the branches? Because I feel like what they are doing is the best. They question them. I mean, and I can see some improvements in some of the institutions, because you are given a deadline to pay that debt. And I can boldly tell you that if we should receive all those monies, you have no idea what that money can be used for. You have no idea. And it's because of some of these things, that is why we keep marking time as a country. People forge things for money. They do things for money. They don't even care, because I have basic and they ain't no more no din. They are doing whatever they want to do. And that is because they feel like my predecessors did it. No one was arrested. Nothing was being done. So if I do same, I think I wouldn't face anything. So as for the Public Accounts Committee, they are doing their best. And sometimes when you see old people old enough to be my parents, people old enough to be my uncles, they're sitting there and they're telling lies. It is boldly written all over their face. They're asking them questions and they're not even able to answer. I've been handed this phone, and I was given a task to use this phone for. And maybe at the end of the day, maybe the task given to me was to design something or maybe write something. And if at the end of the day they're asking me that, oh, so I gave you this phone in a day to use it to do this, what were you able to use it for? And these are people that are there for so long. And let's be sincere. Sometimes I feel like we should not just open our mouth to say we are patriotic citizens without working that we are really patriotic. The government's money is my money, it's your money. It's the taxpayers' money. We cannot continue harming ourselves like that. We cannot. So I feel like this is good. If we are really going to go by it, there wouldn't be a case where if somebody comes in, someone will call order from above, this is my person. Not just say a sign. Then the grant bill, you count the grant bill. By the time you realize it, the case is a dead case. That is not what we want. If this is what they want to do, for me, I don't really trust a system. But just like the saying goes, there is no harm in trying. So let's just try and see how it goes. But the key thing still lies. And that is, we need to fight corruption regardless. We need to fight corruption. Because it's very, very, very important. It is the organic manure that promotes the development of a country. Thank you for making time with me on Debbie Screen.